In this podcast, I'm going to talk to you about tough decisions that leaders have to make. And if you are the lead singer of a band or just lead singer of, your own solo project, you are a leader, and sometimes you got to make tough decisions. And I'm going to share some stories that I think are really going to inspire you. Let's do this! I spent the last 14 years playing over 1,000 shows, touring 22 different countries, and become a top 40 Billboard charting artist. I fired my record label to go out on my own as an independent artist to market and release my own music, selling thousands of albums and millions of streams. The question I always get is, how did I do it without a label and sell even more music? This podcast is here to show you the way. Join me and follow along as I learn, apply, and share marketing strategies to grow my music business and a loyal fan base. So hey guys, just going for a walk, and I just had to make a pretty tough decision on something, and it made me think that, just to let you guys know that you're not alone, because you're probably faced with having to make decisions all the time. Hiring people, whether you got band members, paying bills, coming up with money, coming up with song ideas, dealing with disputes with, members, songwriters, producers, just things that happen. And how do you make decisions in a positive way? How do you just push through it? And how do you respond effectively, okay? And the first thing I'm going to share actually is one with a producer that I was recently working with, and we had agreed to a certain price on something, and that was fine. And I've worked with this individual before, and we agreed on a price to make a song, and then after it was like almost done, the conversation was brought to me, well, what about points? And what about this? And what about that? And I was just like, whoa. You know what I mean? And it was kind of like, it could have gotten like all weird and stuff. And I could have, responded harshly or whatever. And I just found like, let's just get on the phone and let's just talk about this and what's the other person's angle and whatnot. And it just got smoothed over so quickly with a phone call, as opposed to me thinking someone was trying to take advantage or whatever. And I always just say, try and get things in writing as much as you can, as opposed to a verbal agreement, even if they're your best buddies. I'm working with somebody else who's really, really close, and we're just doing so many songs and so much stuff. We're going to just do up a contract, not because we don't trust each other, but just so it's clear, because, life gets crazy. And all of a sudden you could have a manager, you hire a manager, you hire someone to work on your affairs, and then they come chasing you for stuff that isn't true, and they don't know that you had this agreement, and you forget and all that stuff. And just that way you can protect yourself, okay? And then another situation came up last week. I bought this email campaign, and I'm going to leave the company anonymous. I will be telling my Fanbase University members who this is, because I just don't like to slander people publicly. I really, really don't. I don't believe in that. I've had people publicly, hate on me and hate on Smart Music Business, and I just think that's really low class, unless it's just like, I don't know, it's got to be really, really bad. But anyways, I bought an email campaign from this company, okay, because some of these websites and different companies will want to sell you banner advertising. And what I always tell my members is, the majority of the time, that stuff is pretty useless, okay? Not always, but normally the ROI isn't as good as an email blast. And so I sent out an email blast to this company, and they had promised me 170,000 emails they're going to send it to. And I asked them, hey, do you do you clean the list? Basically meaning, do you make sure that you clean it from the people that aren't really opening it and stuff like that? And they're like, oh yeah, we keep it pretty clean and remove the people that aren't active and stuff like that. And so number one, they lied to me on that, because the open rate and click-through rates were just terrible, okay? And then they also promised me that the open rate was 5.5% and the click-through rate was 5%. And so I'm trying to calculate, whether this is worth it or not. And 5% 170,000 people. That's like 8,500 people are going to get to my website. And I'm like, okay, I like that. And I'm crunching the numbers with this person over the phone and working this all out. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do the deal. And so I sign this contract and I pay. And we get the email sent out. Well, the email goes out and we're starting to make a bit of sales, and then all of a sudden it just drops off, and I'm like, that is weird. I only got ended up getting maybe 200 or 300 people to the website. I'm like, that's not 8,500, that's not even 1,000. And so anyways, it turned out that what they meant was 5% click-through rate of the opens, which if you've been in marketing as long as I have, nobody cares about the click-through rate of the opens. Of course that's going to be high. But it's really about the click-through rate of the whole email. I don't care. I can't base my campaign off of the click-through rates of the open. I got to base it on what your averages are of the whole list. And so anyways, they totally misled me. I lost my shirt on this deal. And honestly, I've been doing this for over 15 years. I have never, ever done a credit card charge back to somebody. I've never said to a radio promoter, what do you call them, a press person, a publicist, or a producer, or a manager, I want a refund. I have never done that in my 15 years. I've lost my shirt in so many things, but because I know the risks in the music industry, okay? And so, honestly, you need to always know the risks. And I just did another radio campaign, and I'm 1,000% aware of the risks, and the amount of money that I'm spending on this is about the same on this email that I bought. And so I'm aware of that, and I'm fine with that. But when I bought this email, I was told one thing, and what I got was something completely different. And so anyways, I tried to smooth it over with them, and and just trying to work it out, and they're just not being cool at all. And I just wanted even a partial refund, and now they're not even going to do that. And so it's forcing me to do a chargeback, and I've never done one before. It just bothers me that I'm even having to do that. But it's more just because of the heart behind it and the principle behind it, And I would never slander these guys public or anything like that, but I just want to say, always be extra clear with what you're talking about. And honestly, I thought I was, because I was crunching the numbers on the phone with this lady and hey, well, I want to make sure it's this. I only have 1,000 CDs left of this, so I can't do that one. I'll have to do this one. And you would have thought that when I told her I'm trying to sell over 1,000 CDs, you would think honesty and integrity would click in and go, well, we can only get 300 or 400 people to click on it. So how are you going to sell 1,000 CDs if she knows what she's selling is only 300 and something? Because that's the what they get. That's their average. And she knew this. And it's hey, I'm having to figure. I ended up promoting a different CD that actually I knew wouldn't be as effective with their audience, but because I had more of it and I knew it was still awesome, it would still work, I chose that one instead. And anyways, they just let me go through and were more concerned about the sale than providing me the truthful service. So long story short, I'm having to make a tough decision and having to fight this. And I don't know what's going to happen. And at the end of the day, do I really, really care? No. Is it gonna break the bank? No. But it just annoys me that I got lied to, because I was really trying to do a campaign leading up to something, and it just irks me, because I know they're doing this to other labels and other artists and stuff like that. And so, my Fanbase University members on the next call, I'll definitely be sharing with you guys this, and just, again, always trying to be as clear as possible. But guys, this is just decisions that we as leaders need to make. And I share this because, maybe I sound passionate. Maybe it is bugging me a little bit because it just happened. But am I going to let this affect the rest of my day? No. I'm going to go write a great song when I get off this podcast. I'm going to go work on some stuff and get back to the why of why I'm doing this. This is just a speed bump. And so I just encourage you, when things happen, when things go wrong, just deal with it and move on. Even though I know it's hard and it feels like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. I at one time had to fire a guy who I thought was dead in a bathtub in my hotel room because he just got wasted and had to send him home. And I remember just like crying because I had to do this and I had to make a tough decision and just buy the guy a ticket home. And we were in the middle of a tour and I had to find another drummer. And it was just, it was just a tough time, you know what I mean? And a tough decision that I had to make. And even though it was tough, at the end of the day, it all worked out smoothly. The relationship's been restored with this person, even if you can believe that, and they're in an amazing place now. And that was because I was willing to make a tough call, that really hurt. And so as a leader, sometimes you're just going to have to make the tough call. It's you that's got to, make the call and deal with it, because this is your business. It's not always your manager or whoever. You need to make the call. And, and you want it to be able to, because it's going to make you stronger, and the reason leaders are successful and certain bands are successful and whatnot is because they're willing to just do the hard stuff. They're not chicken. They're not turning away, and they don't just let things slide. And so I encourage you, maybe there's something you've been letting drag on for a while, and you need to deal with it, and you keep putting it off, and you keep putting it off, and you need to make the call. Things aren't right. There's some things that need to be fixed, but you're afraid of controversy. And I don't like controversy either, but sometimes you just got to deal with stuff. There's a story of my hero, Peter Daniels, where he told a guy he had to go fire this lady. And so the guy goes to go tell her that she's been let go and stuff, and she wouldn't leave. And I guess the guy wasn't being very, straight up about it. So he went back to his boss, which was Peter Daniels, and he's like, "Hey man, she won't leave." And he's like, he gets up and he walks over to the lady. He's like, "You're fired. like get out of here. You're done." You know what I mean? And she got up and left. And that's all about just being straight up. And I'm not trying to say you got to be mean or whatever. You can do things tactfully, but sometimes you just got to have those raw conversations. And I've had to let people go all the time for different things. And honestly, sometimes I hired them again later on. Sometimes I didn't. But sometimes just things end, and it's nothing personal. It's business. It's business. And, when you're hiring people for the band and stuff like that, and, they're not working hard, or they're not, they just think they can just feed off you and eat off you. You got to understand, if you ain't making money, if this thing ain't moving, there's not going to be anything for anyone. If you're not successful, you can't hire people because you don't have any money coming in, and then you're not growing the business and not making it happen. And so it's really important that, it's not just about hard work, it's about results and getting a result at the end of the day. And that's why, in certain times I had to fire people, or I'm having to call out this company because they didn't get the results that were promised. And honestly, if you're not getting the results that you want, and I'm not saying especially with radio and publicity, sometimes it's very hard to track results. And, even when I'm selling and trying to help some artists, I'm amazed at some of the attitudes of some. It's like they just think that, my book will show the tactics, like my song promotions guide or the YouTube playbook or something like that I sell. And honestly, I get very, very few, negative comments from that. It's been always, positive. But it's like the information's in there, but I can't do the work for you. It's just you write the hit song. Or I had a buddy I know who was doing a music video recently, and I said to one of my buddies who's going to the music video shoot, I'm like, okay, that's great. He's doing the music video. Whatever he's spending on that music video, I hope he's allotted at least 10 times the budget to promote it, because, definitely creating that music video is what? Does he have a following? No, I know there's no following or anything like that. So he's going to have to market it and get it out there. And I know even for me, just because I do a song, sure, my following is one thing, but I said to my wife, I want to set an audacious goal to get this music out there and out to the masses. And I know that means me thinking, reaching out, and going the extra mile to make sure that this song is heard, and doing the marketing, which is, for me, it's a lot of different things. We did do a music video, but now we're doing ads for it. We're doing radio. We're doing our own publicity. We're doing radio in multiple countries, reaching out to every single person I possibly can think of to share it, and what's interesting? We're getting insane results. And to give you an idea, I had a song that came out about a month and a half ago, and it's got just shy of 100,000 streams on Spotify. Well, this new song, in 2 days, it's got over 20,000 streams. So it's got almost half of what that other song, in just a few days, it's been out for a month and a half. So what does that tell me? What does that tell you? That this is a song I need to push. I need to promote. I need to put some serious gasoline on that fire and get it out to even more people. That is a song worth investing in, and it's comparable, you know? Does that mean that the other song is a dud? No, because that actually other song is done better than even other ones. And so, but it tells me that, like, look, okay, this song is worth promoting, and it's worth promoting, of course, to the right people, because it's not always just about, just because it's a good song doesn't mean everybody is going to like it, but the right people are going to like it, and so I need to keep putting it in front of those people. So really interesting stuff, and just want to encourage you, hey, you're not alone. You know, sometimes you do feel the weight of the world is on your shoulders. Nobody understands the pain. Nobody understands the struggle and the stress sometimes that you're going through, and that it's real. I know the struggle is real. There's just some internal stuff that we deal with leaders, as artists. We're passionate about this stuff. We want to get out there. You know, I think the biggest thing with me with a new song is I just want people to hear it. I want people to hear it. And that's what's forced me to learn how to market. And that's what's, you know, what drives me to risk money all the time and risk my hard effort is to get the music and get the message out there. And I hope that's, you know, why you're doing what you're doing. And so keep believing in it, keep learning, keep growing. But remember, the definition of insanity is to do the same thing over and over again and expect different results. If you're not getting the results you want, maybe you need to do something different. You know, because you can't keep doing the same thing if you're not getting the results you want. It means you got to switch it up. It means you got to try something new. And so I encourage you, step out of your comfort zone. Do something you've never done before. Go the extra mile. All right? I hope you join us on the next Fanbase University call. It's so fun. It's so awesome. Really enjoying it. If this is your first time listener of this, the Fanbase University is my coaching program where I coach you twice a month. Plus, I've recently put all my courses in there and all future courses in there, and you have access to all that. And it's just thousands of dollars of training. Plus, we mail you a book. Okay, so my book, Fighter, 5 Keys to Conquering Fear and Reaching Your Dreams. So, hey, keep going at this. Don't give up. And remember, a fighter isn't someone who never fails. A fighter is someone who never quits. So if you're a struggling artist and you're just trying to figure out this music industry, you want to go full-time with your music, you want to get noticed on social media, or learn how to launch an album, an EP, or just get your music more marketed out there, I want to encourage you to check out my coaching program called Fanbase University. Every single month, I jump on the phone 2 times with my students and I coach them and I teach them how to market their music, how to get noticed, how to handle booking agents, record labels, and just get their music out there. Also, you get access to exclusive training, you get interviews with music industry professionals. If you want to find out more and not do this on your own, not struggle, because I've wasted thousands of dollars on my career and now I want to coach other artists. Check out my program, fanbaseuniversity.com, or click the link below to find out more info.